Okay, I never would have thought that I would be making this video. Today is 7th November 2024 and Maruti Suzuki has done something that I never expected them to do. Global NCAP just announced that the latest Suzuki Dzire scored 5 stars in their latest crash test ratings, which in my opinion is a very big thing actually. In this video, we will be discussing why this is such a big thing, what it means for the competitors, and I will be sharing my opinions about it. So stick around because we are just starting out. My name is Karan Singh and this is Simply Automobiles. To be honest, I personally feel bad for those content creators who were actually relying on making fun of Suzuki and its build quality for creating content. Now they would have to rely on bashing the service quality of Tata Motors. It's just a joke, it's just a joke, don't take it seriously, okay? Now let's come back to the topic, okay? Why Suzuki scoring 5 stars is such a big thing. First thing, this was a voluntary crash test. Obviously, if they have scored 5 stars in Global NCAP, it was a voluntary crash test because it requires you to conduct side pole tests and side impact test, which requires voluntary approval and voluntary cars from the manufacturer actually. So Suzuki actually provided these vehicles to the Global NCAP for this crash test, which means Suzuki was confident that their car would score good in these crash tests actually, which is a very good thing actually. It's a big thing also that this at first when I saw this news, I first thought that this was the result from Bharat NCAP, not Global NCAP, because many people are still skeptical that Bharat NCAP might have more lenient crash test standards and there will be more ways that the car companies would be able to manipulate crash test results in Bharat NCAP in comparison to Global NCAP. But since this crash test is conducted by Global NCAP, this actually proves that the car is actually safe, because most of the Tata cars that they have built their reputation for safe cars, even Mahindra and Skoda Volkswagen, all of them were being tested by Global NCAP. So that's a very big point actually, that it's done by Global NCAP and we know the crash test results are fair and they are reliable. Secondly, this car would be priced and starting around under 10 lakhs. So everyone of us is familiar with Suzuki Dzire. We see them everywhere. Uber drivers love them. These are reliable vehicles. Indian customers also love them. One of the favorite family cars for the people. Suzuki has sold millions of them in previous 3 generations actually. I've driven also one of these, and these are pretty reliable vehicles. They don't offer much in terms of like driving dynamics and features that per se, but these are reliable vehicles and best selling ones. Suzuki has been criticized for shall we say having less than ideal build quality and safety ratings on their cars. I mean, just look at the rating that was given by Global NCAP to the previous model that was tested along with this. It scored only 2 stars actually, which is a big difference. This car had a stable body shell and it will be under 10 lakhs. So in my opinion, this is a really big thing. And this also means probably that the latest generation Swift that was released few months ago would also be safe, since both of these cars are built on similar platforms. This is not the first time that Suzuki is offering a safe car actually. If you remember, a few years ago, Suzuki Vitara Brezza in the pre-facelift and the previous generation, it scored actually 4 stars in Global NCAP. It wasn't a voluntary test if I remember correctly. But since that car and even the Grand Vitara and the Toyota offerings also, both are built by Global C platform, which was also used for building S-Cross. So those everybody assumed that those cars are safe, but most of the cars under 10 lakhs weren't safe. I mean, just look, you can see the results actually. I think Swift in the previous gen scored 1 star, even Suzuki Ertiga scored 3 stars actually. Ignis, which was a product that many people actually thought that it would be safe, also scored like 1 star. People weren't very impressed with the build quality and safety ratings that Suzuki was providing, especially under 10 lakh rupees. Tata Motors, they really had their A game in terms of safety actually. But now Suzuki, by doing this, actually has changed the game a lot in the Indian car segment, in my opinion, and which is really good from them. I hope that they also send their other cars like facelifted Suzuki Baleno, Suzuki Fronx, even the latest generation Suzuki Swift, so that the customers do have confidence in the brand, so that they can also do away with the stigma that Suzuki cars are tin cans, they are not safe, they have a lower build quality. They should do that actually as a brand building exercise, which will really help them in the long run. Now let's come to the competitors actually. This will shake the competitors a lot, especially the one company that would be scared seeing these results would be Tata Motors. It's mainly because that safety has been the USP for Tata actually. I know Mahindra cars are also safe. Volkswagen and Skoda cars are also considered very safe. Even the Nissan Magnite sold under 10 lakhs is also a very safe car actually. But Tata has the widest portfolio apart from Suzuki and Hyundai actually in the Indian car market. So essentially, under 10 lakhs, it's Hyundai, Maruti, and Tata that mainly compete actually for the big numbers. I know Magnite is also there, even Renault also sells their products. But the main chunk of market has the competition between Hyundai, Suzuki, and Tata. People consider if as soon as people consider a safe car in India, it's always Tata Motors. I think this will affect them. Obviously, this doesn't won't drastically reduce the sales of Tata, but Tata need to think about the problems that consumers are facing. I've seen many Reddit posts and many YouTube videos about the problems with their electrical systems, especially in their higher end cars like Harrier and Safari. But the main problem people have is with their quality control and the quality of service actually, and they would need to improve that now because now Suzuki has proved that they can build safe cars actually. So Tata also need to improve their weaknesses now, and which is more hard in my opinion actually. When we talk about safeguards all around the world, it's mainly Toyota, Honda, mainly the Japanese brands actually. And if you see in US, the legacy brands like Ford, Chevrolet, GM, even the Stellantis brands, even the German European brands haven't been able to build as reliable cars as Japanese since last many years. Establishing good quality control, making reliable cars that last for miles and miles and don't give problem to the customers, it's not that easy as you think actually it is. It takes a lot of effort, and it would be a difficult road for Tata now, especially after we saw that Mahindra has actually overtaken Tata in terms of sales. So it hasn't been a good last few months for Tata in my opinion. So if Tata wants to claw back the third biggest automaker in India behind Suzuki and Hyundai, they need to work on their weaknesses actually and listen to their customers. And now let's come to the other competitor, which is Hyundai. It's a weird case actually with Hyundai. It's not as if that Hyundai is not providing safe cars. We saw with Verna last year that Hyundai also can build safe cars. Hyundai Verna scored 5 stars in Global NCAP, even though it had unstable body shell, and Dzire, which would be selling under 10 lakhs, has a stable body shell. So that's what they need to work upon, Hyundai. But we would be mainly talking about their offerings under 10 lakhs, which are certainly not safe in my opinion. Aura and i10 actually scored 2 stars in the previous Global NCAP crash test, which weren't satisfactory enough. So Dzire would be directly competing against that, and in my opinion, there is no brainer that you should go for Dzire, even though if it comes with a 3-cylinder and Hyundai comes with a 4-cylinder, the build quality is simply not good enough in comparison to Dzire, I think. One competitor actually that I want to talk about, who is also readying their latest product to compete against Dzire, and that is Honda. Honda's curious case actually. I love that brand personally because I have driven Honda City and I love that product so much. Their future looks dark in my opinion. I was really excited to see Elevate actually, but they have made few mistakes with that product, like not offering hybrid, few features missing. So, and a few days ago, the same day when the Dzire teaser got released, Honda also released the teaser for their Honda Amaze actually, and it's coming soon actually. I think the launch is like in few days or few months actually. But they also shouldn't be worried because Dzire has always been a best-selling product. So they would also need to either voluntarily do a crash test with their Amaze now, to convince people that their car is also safe actually. And if they do that, hats off to Honda as well. But they should be worried because they are relying heavily on Amaze to basically boost their sales in the future. These crash tests are really interesting in few aspects more actually. Firstly, the body shell of the Dzire was rated as stable. It wasn't unstable as was with Verna actually when it got tested last year with Global NCAP. It was rated stable, so this means that body shell of the Dzire would be able to keep its passengers safe in case of an accident, which is really important thing actually. Because more than 5 stars, we need the stable body shell in these under 10 lakh cars. That is more important than the stars themselves, because stars can get affected by other things like passive safety features like ADAS as well, seat belt reminders and those kinds of things. But having a stable body shell in this car, that's a really big achievement of Suzuki in my opinion. And one more thing is that they scored 5 stars in the stricter Global NCAP actually. We know that few years ago, Global NCAP changed their norms actually, and they got more stricter. So scoring such a good score in stricter crash tests is a very big thing in my opinion. And Suzuki has done well. This goes to show that firstly, customer is always right and company has to make changes to cater to customer needs. And secondly, competition is really important. If not for companies like Volkswagen, Skoda, Tata, Mahindra giving us like 5-star cars, 4-star cars to the customers, and customers also appreciating that and choosing cars just on the basis of the safety ratings, Maruti wouldn't have done this in my opinion. So competition has forced Maruti to do this, and which is again shows us that why competition is so important. I hope the competition from Maruti and Hyundai forces Tata and Mahindra to improve their quality control and reliability as well. Since I'm not a customer with Tata and Mahindra, but I keep listening these complaints by the other customers, which I feel like is really bad hearing that, considering their cars are almost perfect. If they are able to improve that, nobody can stop them capturing more market share actually. So yeah, that is why we should encourage more competition in Indian automotive segment. And I hope more competition comes up in the future. More brands join up. Maybe even Ford comes back to India. Who knows? So yeah, that's it for today's video. Write down in the comments below, what do you think about Suzuki Dzire scoring 5 stars in Global NCAP? Are you excited for this product? And what are your opinions about it? And if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to check out our channel for more such videos. I'm sure you will definitely find something interesting to watch there. And see you soon in a future video. Goodbye.